We're talking with Betty Hill, famous and first abductee. September 19, 1961, Betty, while driving with her husband Barney, was heading south from Canada when very early in the morning, he saw a strange light behind the car. It was September 19th. But what time was that, Betty, that this light behind the car appeared?
Long we crossed over the border into New Hampshire, and I think we started to see this light following. Actually, in the very beginning, I noticed a bright light in the sky, and I thought I was discovering a new planet, until it started to move.
September 19th, 1961, 10:30 p.m. Betty and Barney Hill were traveling in the deep woods of New Hampshire on Route 3. What happened to them next will be forever known as the Betty and Barney Hill Incident.
Why doesn't it go away? Look at it. It doesn't matter. Calm. It's not going to hurt you. Did they have faces like other people? You say one reminded you of a red-headed Irishman. His eyes were slanted. I see it so. His eyes were slanted. Just stay there, he's saying to me. Yes, all right. I'll take in my head. Just don't pull the binoculars away. God, give me strength. All right. Pull them down. Run! Pull these binoculars down and run. God! It says my God, give me strength. I gotta get away. Oh! Betty! All right. Gotta get away, Betty! All right. Calm down. I'm driving. I gotta get away.
A mile down the road from the alleged abduction spot is this little gas station known for its Betty and Barney Hill memorabilia.
So we made it to the gas station that supposedly has all the Betty and Barney Hill memorabilia. They have all kinds of cool t-shirts, mugs, newspaper clippings, and they're supposed to have this bathroom that has all Betty and Barney Hill stuff in it. They play creepy music. It's like a black bathroom. But unfortunately, we just spoke with the person who works inside, and they don't have the bathroom anymore. I guess people were getting a little freaked out.
Yeah, the new owners got rid of it. People were going in there. They were doing some damage to the pieces. And, the new owners just wanted to keep it more of like a gift shop. So unfortunately, the bathroom doesn't exist anymore.
No, but it's still a cool little spot to stop and, check out on the Betty and Barney Hill tour.
And you also have to realize that in the early 1960s, nobody talked about interracial marriage, and nobody certainly talked about UFO abductions or sightings or anything of that nature. So, why would they lie about something like this? They had nothing to gain, besides the local news coverage and stuff, there's really nothing that they would make money off of. And down the line, writing books and what have you, but back in that time frame, there was no reason for them to come out with any of this information. They had so many things working against them, being an interracial couple, the UFO abduction. They just had way too many things going against them to make them want to come out with some kind of a bizarre lie like this.
Yeah, like to make up a whole story about that.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense for them to do that.
Splashed everywhere. They didn't even intend for it to get out like that. It's just, once the press gets a hold of things, it takes on a whole other, world of itself.
It certainly does. The next stop was the actual location of the alleged abduction. This is the exact spot where Betty and Barney Hill came into contact with the UFO. To get an even deeper look into this story, we now travel to the University of New Hampshire, over 90 miles away from the White Mountains.
So we just made it here to the University of New Hampshire at the Diamond Library, and they have some really fascinating things on display for the Betty and Barney Hill case. Check out this printing press. This is from the 1840s. 1940s.
You're close.
Washington Press. This is fascinating.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Yeah, this here. We're at the Special Collections and Archives in the New Hampshire University.
What you're seeing is the actual dress Betty wore on the night of the abduction. The patches missing from the dress were cut out and sent for testing. The conclusion of those tests was that the substance was not natural and it was from an external source.
These are so fascinating. There's so much information in here. Just endless amounts of journals. These are the personal journals of Betty Hill. In them, she writes about not only her experiences with the unexplained, but others as well. So I definitely felt a connection with her when I was sitting there reading through her journals.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could just picture her sitting there writing everything down, remembering everything that happened. And her entries, they were really interesting. They were like journal type. Like, she would write, like, left mom's at 8:30. On the way home, saw lights, thought they were the train, wasn't the train. And it was just a continuous thing of all of her interactions that she's had with UFOs, lights in the sky that she
All
would see.
types of strange phenomena.
Yeah, and then even after she started doing her own, she had a separate journal with other people's encounters with UFOs. So she became really fascinated, and she really was interested in it, and she has an endless amount of encounters.
Well, she felt more of a connection after the abduction.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess that's what inspired her to write all that.
Yeah. Betty and Barney Hill certainly lived an interesting life. Barney passed away on February 25th, 1969, and Betty died October 17th, 2004. Did Betty and Barney Hill get abducted in the fall of 1961, or was this just an elaborate hoax? Tell us what you think in the comments below.